Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of what we call Behind the Curtain. My name is Stacy.
I'm Amy.
And this is a show about our businesses that we have, and we just want to show you what goes on behind the scenes. Ames has her own women's fashion brand, and I have my own clothing brand / content creating brand. Ames' brand's name's Miami, and I've got a brand called Votion, which you can find at votion.co.nz. This is our third episode, so let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode, as I said before, of what we call Behind the Curtain. We want to share everything that we learn, we want to share with you guys. We are parents of 3 kids, plus also hold down, Ames has got her own business. I run a business from 9 to 5, which I'm a sales manager at a sporting brand here in New Zealand. Plus, I also have my own clothing and also content creating brand at votion.co.nz. Today's topics, we're going to talk about a few different things, right?
Yeah.
So we've got a few different things we want to talk about. So today we're going to talk about the challenges that we've faced this month, or recently this week, being really realistic with our timelines in terms of a launch date for your Miami range.
Yep.
And also the importance of content creating and the importance of a content creator calendar.
Yeah.
So things that what are the things we're facing at the moment? So August is a busy time for us, right?
It's like the busiest time of the year, really, for us, because it kind of goes, in terms of like birthdays with our family, personal stuff, it goes your birthday, then Hendrix, then Minnie, then Father's Day. Before that was just Mum's. It's all like in a space of like 6 weeks. So, of course, when we were planning this launch date, we kind of didn't take any of those things into account, into consideration.
Because we gave ourselves, you gave yourself 6 weeks for a launch, from time of conception of the range to the actual launch date.
Yeah.
We didn't, like you say, factor in the day-to-day of living.
Yeah, exactly,
Like the planning of a birthday just sounds easy, but, especially with the kids, you've got to plan birthday parties, you've got to plan the making of the cakes, which takes a full day.
Whole full day, yeah.
So that takes you away from your business and what you got to do, right?
Yeah, plus the kids have had photo shoots and that kind of stuff, so it's...
So just on that, so they work for a talent agency, and so they do brand, what do they, so they do...
A little bit of modelling, like talent
modelling,
work.
that's the word, yeah.
So
it takes a full day out from, got to take them to that, things like that. So that takes you away from obviously doing Miami work.
Yeah.
But then also, as well as that, so they've got a day-to-day life of our family, but also, timings of your terms of, talk about your patterns.
Yeah. So, looking at the whole process, like there was the designing and everything. I think the last time we did a podcast, we just kind of nailed in and finalised all the designs. I was fabric hunting, and I think I had finalised all of the fabrics. And then I was about to go and meet with my pattern maker, which I did about 3 weeks ago. And so it's the making of sample patterns, which is something we've never really done before.
Because we're doing a whole new process. Previously, what we were doing was making to order, so you'd put up a sample, you'd put up a photo on your Instagram or whatever your platforms, and then just say, hey, the shop is open, taking pre-orders, and then as soon as you got your shop closed, do the pre-orders and then make the product after that.
Yeah.
So now how are we doing it now?
Yeah, so now how we're doing it is there's no more made to order. Everything is pre-made. So I'm having to test out all of the samples first, obviously get the patterns done, test out all of the samples, make sure the fit's correct and it looks right and everything. And then it will go off to our manufacturers who will pre-make everything, which I think I've only allowed like 2 weeks for that. I probably really need to allow a little bit more. But going back to the pattern making thing, I even haven't allowed enough time for that. I really put aside about a week for that, and it took 3 weeks. So it's getting really close to launch date, and I'm going, I haven't even started sampling yet. So I've cut out all of the samples and everything, and they are all ready to be dropped to the manufacturers in the morning, and they are going to do my samples. Usually I'd do the samples, but I'm kind of just like, if we're doing it properly this time, I know that they can do a better job than me, and I'd rather be able to see the exact finished product that I'm going to get from the bulk order too.
Yeah, that's it. Because sometimes making your sample is different to what they're going to end up making it.
Yeah, like there's some stitches that I can't do on my machine that they do on theirs.
And the other thing as well is pattern making. So we just think, it's sweet. A week should be heaps of time for her.
Yeah.
But not taking consideration she's got other patterns to make.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, so we've got to give a realistic time frame.
Yeah,
so
totally.
Yeah, these are all learnings that we're doing for the first time of actually creating product first before selling it, you know?
Yeah. One of the exciting things that I've got going with my patterns is that the more patterns I get made, the more that I'm realizing that I've kind of got like a whole bunch of different things that I can mix and match, you know, like my pattern maker might have made me like a big, huge balloon sleeve, you know, for a dress or something. Then all of a sudden now I've got that, I can mix and match that with a different top pattern that I've got and that kind of thing. So it's all kind of like a bit of an investment getting all of these patterns made because I can just mix and match all different things to make future new
ranges.
collections.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So, but so it's been a really challenging time frame. I guess it's a lot of learning from us in terms of time frames, like I guess you just said, but being realistic time frames. You know, 6 weeks was. How we ever thought 6 weeks was going to be a lot, which is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But I think purely just because you've gone on previous, I think your thought process was still previous releases, you know, like pre-orders.
I've been able to do it almost immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one's way different because we haven't, you know, also consideration pattern making, sourcing fabrics, getting the product made, marketing, uploading to websites, social media content.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much to it, you know.
And this is all if everything goes smoothly too. Like what if these samples come back and I go, oh, nah, actually that sleeve's not right. And then we have to start again and go back to the pattern maker. So it's great learnings though. Yeah.
You know, in terms of understanding. So anybody out there looking at starting a clothing brand, these are the kind of things you got to start considering if you are doing either pre-orders or pre-making everything. There's so much differences, So, so that was... so I think we're going to have to reassess the launch date now. It was originally 1st of September, but now we're going to have to sort of obviously push that out because we're quite getting close to that. A
couple of weeks away from it,
So there's no chance of that. So, which is the unfortunate thing, but there's no expectation. There's no hurry on it. I don't think people sit around going, hurry up, you said you're going to do it on this date, you know.
Another thing that I've noticed as well, which is just another learning thing, it's kind of something that I should have really thought about, was that when I first planned this range, it's like all around spring and, you know, the trees starting to, or the flowers starting to bloom again and blossom and that kind of stuff. And that's how I wanted to shoot it too. I wanted our photos to be, you know, quite flowery and floral. What is flowery and floral at the moment?
Storm's going on right now. So maybe a blessing in disguise, you know, in terms of getting something might be towards middle of September.
Yeah.
Or even later, who knows. So
well, I think like if you actually Google spring, first day of spring, it's like controversial whether it's the 1st of September or I think the 21st. So maybe we'll go for the 21st.
Yeah, so that's a good little learning that we've learned over the course of transitioning from pre-orders to pre-making everything. The next topic we want to talk about, just pulling up on my list, is just talked about not allowing realistic times for ranges, but I think the importance of a content calendar. So, for example, I remember you saying that, I'm just waiting for my patterns to be done. So it just felt like you were stuck, you know, in standstill.
Yeah.
But in fact, there's so much more you could have been doing.
I could have been doing so much more and I just didn't have any direction. I didn't know. It sounds so stupid saying I didn't know what to do. I should have known what to do. I could have just filmed anything.
Yeah,
you know?
So I think what the importance of it is creating a calendar, a weekly calendar that just sort of aligns yourself with what you should be doing. If you don't have, you know, for example, the patterns that come back, okay, what else could I be doing, you know, to keep moving the brand forward? And more importantly, it's just getting in front of people, I think. I mean, from a content creator, I think that's the important part. As a brand, we should all be thinking we're a marketing company that has product on the side, that sells product. We're not the other way around, you know. I think marketing's so important because you want to be the front of mind when somebody goes to buy something. You know, if you go to buy a skirt or a dress or something like that, you want to instantly think of your favorite brand and go, oh, what have they got it?
Yeah.
And so examples of that could have been like, just doing like little reels, you know, you could have been taking your camera, going around to merchant fabric sourcing, right? Or it could have been at home just doing some outfit changes, you know, like reels like that.
Even just admin stuff or whatever.
Yeah, or even like updating the websites. But you do also a great blog that you do on a weekly. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so that's called Miami Loves, and that's like a little collection of about 3 to 5 things that I've kind of loved throughout the week, and I might have found. It could be like a beauty product, food, a place, anything, like a show that we've been to, that I just sort of feel like my audience might benefit from or know about, you know. In the past, I've posted up about, you know, maybe different makeup that I do or whatever, and I've always had lots of replies, but I've never really made any content around it because I think, oh, there's heaps of other makeup girls out there and, you know, that talk about that kind of stuff. So, so that's just my little weekly blog of favourite things.
So how do people get a hold of that?
Yeah, so you have to be signed up to the newsletter list or mailing list, which you can do on my website.
At miami.com?
At miami.com. And also it's published on the website too, weekly too. So and
I think it's a cool little thing to do. It's just sort of sharing. I guess, you know, like knowledge is king, and you say if you're sharing with everybody, sometimes you don't, you know, like you follow your favourite Instagram people or TikTok people because they share a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I think that's cool, you know, in terms of it could even just be like something you've found for the kids.
Yeah.
Or,
this week's one was like a new lunchbox that I bought for the kids, and it's really good. So I just, you know, shared that. And I think also, like for me personally, when I'm looking at other influencers or whatever on social media, and if they're talking about something that they truly love, then you're just more inclined to be like, oh, cool, it does work. Whereas if it's I know it's so bad because that's what they're paid for, that's what influencers are. But if it's an ad, I find it hard to believe them. And I don't know if other people are the same.
Yeah, because one week it changes to the next.
Yeah, and you're just like, I don't know, they're getting paid whatever to say this. Is it really true that they like it? Or maybe it is, you know, like
Yeah, you're right. It's just it is challenging when you see somebody promote something.
Yeah.
And I get it. It works. For example, if Kim Kardashian says this is great, she's getting paid $1 million for a photo.
Yeah.
How many sales they get from that?
Yeah.
So it does work in that sense.
Yeah.
But as someone that's more local, you know, you see them. The one is that you probably see them on a more regular basis, you know, promoting so many different brands.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, okay, this dude's just, or this chick's just, you know, putting it out there just to get paid.
Yeah, everything is just ad.
But someone like that's actually like a brand that's actually, or like yourself, that's generally sharing stuff about like kids or your fashion tips or makeup tips or little hacks. I guess it's what you call life hacks,
kind
really.
of like, yeah.
And those are the ones that sort of really gain traction. So if you are a brand, look at putting out not just content about your brand, but also content about other things that can help benefit people.
Yeah.
And that leads me into another topic we're going to talk about. Is this the book I've just finished reading? And it's called Story Brand by a guy by the name of Donald Miller. And if anybody that owns a brand or runs a brand or considering running a brand, definitely check this book out. What it is, he says, and generally that a brand is like a movie. And so, for example, if you look at a movie, it's got 4 key things to it. It's got a hero, it's got a guide, and it's got a story, like a goal they want to accomplish, and then it's them accomplishing their goal. And let's take, I don't know, Star Wars, for example. I know Star Wars is not for you, but example is you got Luke Skywalker. He needs to take down like this dude called Darth Vader and all the dark side. He finds a guy by the name of Obi-Wan Kenobi, helps him, so he's the guide, and then they blow up this thing called a Death Star, which obviously takes down the Darth Vader kind of dude.
You're speaking Japanese
I know, right?
to me at the moment.
But for those that are like listening out there, know a little about Star Wars. But if you look at your brand, you got the hero, you got the guide, you got the problem, and you're going to find out how to find their resolution. So the hero is actually the customer. So they want to be the hero of their own story.
Yeah.
The guide is the brand figuring out how they can achieve their goal and then accomplish that goal. So an example being girls' night coming up, right? So you got a lady out there going, oh, man, I've got a girls' dinner coming up.
What am I going to wear?
What am I going to wear?
Yeah.
What's something cool I could wear? I've got nothing. Looking in their wardrobe going, oh, man, what have I got? Next thing, you know, as our brand, and so actually this lady that's happens to be just flicking through Instagram, our ad pops up on paid Instagram saying, have you got a girls' night out coming up? I'm like, oh yeah, I have. And then you say, click here, takes them to their website, and then all of a sudden pops up on the Miami website is all these different ways how to dress a particular, you know, like style a particular dress or a shirt or from a head to toe outfit.
Yeah. So like they can get, there could be, of different ideas of different occasions. So like you get this black dress and you can wear that for your girls' night, and you can also wear it to that lunch you're going to next week or whatever.
Right, and you can wear this jewellery. This is how you could have your hair.
Yeah.
And here's a makeup tip. So then all these different, click on here for a makeup tip. Click on here for a hairstyling idea. Click on here for, all these different ways to wear shoes.
Yeah.
So we've become the guide for their problem. And so then the issue was, so originally they had the problem of, what am I going to wear? I need somebody to help me. Here's a brand that's going to help me. The girls, and then they have an outfit to wear, and then they turn up looking great at the night out. So, and that's it's like a story, like those 4 key points. So that's the importance of creating content outside of what you do, meaning styling tips, meaning the emails that you're doing is really good, because it's just like little hacks, I guess you could say, to help somebody.
Yeah.
All you want to try and do is give value to your audience, so you gain their trust to then, I fuck with that brand. I like that brand, because they've helped me so much, or I like what they've done, and then they, so as opposed to, there's a lot of brands out there just say, we're on sale, buy this, buy that, buy, and you kind of get put off it, right? I mean, if you scroll,
and I've been like that sometimes too, in the past, and it ends up getting embarrassing. You're like, oh, this feels gross. I feel like I'm just trying to push sales down people's throats.
Yeah, and people get turned off by that.
Sure.
If you keep saying buy, or if you keep saying we're great, we're amazing, we're awesome, again, people will be like, oh.
Yeah, you got to show that authenticity. And what's that quote? Perfection erodes connection. So if you're always trying to be perfect and I'm great and everything is going great, but really behind the scenes it's a bit fucked, and you're not showing that, people don't feel connected to you because they can't relate, because in true life, not everything is perfect.
But at the same time, it's a fine line though, because you don't want to hang all your dirty washing out on.
I know.
You
don't want people to think you fucking bootleg and be like, ooh, she's like cutting stuff on her lounge room floor.
Yeah, so there's that fine line. You don't want to go too, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, not real's the word.
Yeah.
Just putting it, being, I don't know I'm sure you guys probably comment below about
and I mean, that's half the reason why I don't film all that much in my day-to-day life, because reality is I'm in a mum bun in my track pants, just busy as, and I'm a little bit like, I don't really want to film myself looking like this, because,
I'm running a woman's fashion brand and here I am wearing trackies.
Exactly. Your trackies.
But maybe that's what the emails could be providing, you're talking about what you've been up to. And these podcasts, I think, is going to help as well about our thought process about being, what's happening behind the curtains. It's not all glam and looking amazing. Sometimes we have realities of challenges, so I think there's different ways to put it on different platforms. I wouldn't put up like your like on an Instagram feed, right? I don't know if I would put all this sort of, that negativity, not negativity, but you talk about realness on the actual feed. You might put that in your stories, or leave it for this kind of content, podcast. Because podcasting is like an intimate sort of thing. You're like listening into a conversation, which a lot of people enjoy doing. Driving to work, or go walking the dog, or out for a run. They like listening to podcasts, so it makes them feel like they're part of the conversation.
Yeah.
And so that may be that's where we could put that kind of content. And then if we really want to sort of really highlight some cool pieces that we are doing, it could be just on Instagram Reels, TikTok, Facebook, things like that.
Yeah. Agree.
So I think that's this week's potty. I think that's probably all the topics we got to talk today about. Thank you again for joining us. This is something into. Definitely hit the subscribe button. Maybe a bit of a comment about below what you'd like to hear about as well. What topics we could talk about.
Yeah, maybe people might want us to really rewind back of how we even started. Have we even spoken about that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe episode 1. Check that out. So, but that's us. Thanks again, fam. And we will be back again with another episode coming up very, very soon. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. See you then. Peace.